Hey there, my name is Amanda Reese and I am an elite MUA with Senegence, also a published MUA, and I'm here to talk to you about contouring versus bronzing. They're two very different things. So I'm going to dive right in because it is a lot of information and I want to give it to you as easily and quickly as possible. So contouring is more of an unnatural process versus bronzing, which is a more natural look. Okay, so you can try both, right? And you can see which one you like better, or you may like both. But contouring is more of something that I do in the evening if I'm going to be inside, something like that. Bronzing is something that I do more when I'm out and about, outside running errands, going to the beach, wanting that kind of bronze beauty look. So I'm going to show you how to do both. So the first thing is contouring. Contouring is the art of using a darker color to make something look smaller. Dark diminishes, okay? So you have to look at your face and think, okay, what do I want to make look smaller? Wherever you want to make look smaller, that's where you would do the contour. The other thing that's really important with contouring is that you don't want it to be orange, okay? This is a shading kind of process, and I've never sat underneath a tree and the shade be orange. So we want it more of a gray brown, like true brown. So to do that, what I do is I like to use our deep concealer. You can use the deep CCTM or any of the deeper foundations like cinnamon, coffee. And what I do is I add a little bit of Slate, which is our shadow scent. So it can be used for double things. It can cool down a warm tone, and it can also be used for shadow. So it's really great. It can also be used for brows. Love me some gray brows, okay? So what you do is you mix the two, you just do a dab of Slate and it cools down the orange. Now, when we do contouring, what we want to do is we want to identify where we do the contour, and it's right underneath your cheek. Okay, if you do the fishy face, you'll see that you have a line here. That's where you want to do the contour. You have to have a good contrast between this area underneath your cheek and your jaw. If you don't have enough space here, you probably aren't going to want to contour in that area because it'll look all muddy coming down, and it'll actually accentuate this area, which will make you look like you have jowls. So you have to be really careful on making sure you have enough room. I always kind of do like a 2 or 3 finger rule. Okay, and then that will be enough space between. So what you do is you dip your brush in the product and then you disperse it evenly by blotting it. You want it dispersed evenly on your brush. An even disbursement equals an even application, okay? So what you want to do, you're going to go right underneath the cheekbone, and I'm stippling. We want to stipple. Okay, stippling gives a layering effect, which gives a little more pigment, and you don't wipe off anything that you have on underneath. Okay, so see how I have the contrast? See when I look straight how it's starting to cut my cheek in? Then what I do is I take my foundation brush and I just very lightly go over the edges and clean it up so I have a nice contour line. Okay, now keep in mind, I'm going pretty light. A lot of times you would even go a little bit darker at night to give you that more dramatic look. Again, this is a more unnatural look, but if you're going to do it for the day, keep it a little more natural, okay? And I'm only going to do one side so that because you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So now what you want to do is if you want your forehead, okay, because again, the contouring is the art of using a darker color to make something look smaller. So if you want to drag your hairline down to make your forehead look smaller, what you want to do is I start with what's on my brush, and I just start from the hairline, and then I start blending downward. See how it's starting to add color? I also like to do this when I'm bronzing, okay, and I use a different product when bronzing, and you'll see. But what it does is it starts to tie in all of this together, and it kind of brings the hairline down. It gives the illusion that your hairline is a little further down, or it's your forehead isn't as wide, okay? So, or as long. So you want to start at the hairline and go down. Now what I do is with the rest that's on my brush, or I'll dab a little bit more. You don't need a lot, okay? Because we don't want you to be dirty. We don't want you to look dirty, okay? And you can always take your foundation brush and go along the bottom, and that'll help kind of blend everything together. Now for this area, this is a big one that a lot of people want to contour. And the way that you do that is you actually start behind the ear. Starting behind the ear keeps you from going up on the jawline. We don't want to go up on the jawline. We just want to shade underneath, okay? We don't want to look dirty. If you come up here too much, it'll make you look like you have a dirty line, and that's not what we want. So you want to come down the neck, start behind the ear on each side and come down the neck. Okay, and it gives a nice kind of shadow. That's what we want. We want a shadow coming down. Now, if you want to make your nose a little more narrower, you would do the darkness here and blend downward, okay? Because again, dark diminishes. So if you have a nose that is a little wider and you want to narrow it, you put it on each side and blend it downward, okay? That's going to give the illusion that your nose is a little more narrow. Same thing, if you're a little bit longer on the nose, you want to contour the tip area right in here. And that'll give the illusion that your nose is a little bit shorter. Okay, so always keep that in mind. Dark diminishes, light brings out. So always do the dark to diminish an area. Because by diminishing this, it brings out this. By diminishing this, it brings out this. Okay, by diminishing this, it brings out this area. So always kind of keep that in mind when you're contouring. Now, bronzing is a much more natural look. And I like to use our bronze blush scents. Specifically, I like to use our bronze dust quite a bit as well. If you're a little fairer toned, I actually like to use the silver rose as well. It can bring really pretty pinky tones to your skin if you're very fair. And so again, what you want to do is you want to do a dab of the bronze. And keep in mind, our products are very pigmented, so a bottle of the bronze or any of our blushes is going to last you a really, really long time. Okay, so keep that in mind. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have an even disbursement again. So again, we are evenly dispersing it, blotting it all over the brush. Okay, and then you want to start in the cheek area. And I always smiled this like weird, I look like a ventriloquist dummy, this weird kind of like smile. And what I'm doing is I'm going right on the fleshy part of the cheek. So this line where we contour, I'm actually going from that line up with my bronze. Okay, and now I can take a look at it and say, okay, do I want to go a little darker or is that good? Okay, kind of take a look. No, I think that's good. Then you take whatever's left on your brush and again, I just add a little color on the forehead. You can even add a little color on the nose, chin, then go down the neck. Okay, and we're just bronzing. We're adding color to your skin. Okay, we just want to add that color. Warm your skin up a little bit. Look a little sun-kissed. With the bronze dust, I actually tap some on a palette because I like to use a little fluffier of a brush. So what I do is I dip it and I kind of tap it. And I just go over where I bronzed and it just gives a really pretty kind of shimmer to it. Very pretty. Then whatever's left on my brush, I can do a little bit on the forehead to give me a nice little shimmer. Okay, so that's the difference between bronzing and contouring. Super simple. I don't want to go too advanced because really it doesn't need to be too advanced. You can keep it extremely simple and just do these techniques and you'll be able to contour and bronze no problem. So I hope this video helps you. Get with your distributor, ask about the colors and the different products that you would need to do this beautiful bronzing contour duo, or either or. Okay, so I hope this video helped. I also was told to say what I did on my eyes. This is my favorite thing to do on my eyes right now. It's actually only Mocha Java Shadow Sense. It's my go-to. It's my favorite. It's really great for just about everyone. And then I just added a little bit of silver shimmer in the middle as a halo, and you can do that with any of the shimmers. And it's super simple. You put some on your finger and tap it right up and it gives you a nice little flash of shimmer that looks great on every eye. It doesn't matter what eye shape. So that's kind of my go-to. So I hope this video helped and get to contouring and bronzing. Bye guys.